This ribeye is over 3 inches thick, so I seasoned it with salt this morning and put it back in the fridge to really set into the meat. For this beauty, I'm going to use Pitman Smokehouse Base Rub. It's a simple blend that's good on everything. Help the seasoning stick by patting it down a bit. Flip it over and repeat the process. Remember, you always have time to add seasoning later. Minor complaint, I ordered my ribeye bone in, and I received bone tied on. I suppose that's close enough, but yeah, whatever. I love buying meat on the bone because cooking with it adds about twice the flavor. I'd say it's worth it. Season up the sides and we are good to go. Yep, you guessed it. Now that we've seasoned our dinner, it's time to start the smoker. This time allows the seasoning to set into the meat. Make sure the meat doesn't sit at room temperature longer than 30 minutes. Light the charcoal and let it burn until it is completely caught on fire. Carefully place the hot coals into the firebox. Next, arrange the charcoal into a pile and add your wood of choice. I love smoking with fruit woods, so I'm using cherry. I always start with smaller pieces I've chopped before using larger ones. While we get rid of the initial dirty smoke, we will add the drip pan. It's always best to add liquids that correspond to the meat and flavors cooking above. Get creative here. Barbecue is supposed to be fun. My wife reminded me that red meat goes well with red wine, so I'm going to start with a bottle. A whole bottle. Then I'll chase it with a little bit of water. The drip pan helps add moisture throughout the process. It also adds more flavor as the juices drip back up onto the meat. Do not forget this step. Moisture is our friend. Once the smoke is a silvery blue, you can close the smoker for preheating. It's at 200 degrees right now, so by the time I get the ribeye out here, we should be at my desired 250. I'll spray the grate with a non-stick spray. Then place the ribeye over the drip pan. Scrape off leftover seasoning and close it up. You know what comes next. Waiting. Waiting is an essential part of barbecue. But who says waiting can't be fun? Don't forget to check the smoker temp often. Adjust the fire as needed to maintain an even temperature and good quality smoke. Now is a good time for the meat thermometer. This is a really helpful tool to ensure your meat finishes where you want. Stick it into the thickest part of the steak so the tip is in the middle. Continue to smoke until we have reached the hour point. We are now halfway through smoking our steak, so I'll give it a flip. Then, I'll make an adjustment with the thermometer so it's back in the middle. This is a great point to re-season this side. Give it an even coat and close the smoker. Keep the smoker closed as much as possible. You want the smoke to stay in the chamber and on the meat. If you open the chamber too much, you're just grilling, and not very well. I'll put my blue shirt back on and check the temperature and fire. Spray bottles are helpful with long smokes to keep the meat from drying out, but we are not going to have that problem here. About 3/4 through the process, I'm going to add butter. This will provide all the moisture we need to finish the smoke. I'm going to finish this ribeye with the reverse sear method on the grill. I'll set it on medium-high to give the outer layer a crust. This will also bring the temperature up to my desired medium. Spray the grill with nonstick spray and what the hell? That's not right. Hold on a second. No. Bingo! Sorry about that. It's been 2 hours, 15 minutes. This steak is at 227 degrees, and I want my ribeye to be a medium, or 145 degrees. It's now time to pull it off the smoker and head on over to the grill. Reverse searing is just simply searing the steak on high heat at the end of smoking or baking. It's really the best method to treat a steak on a smoker. Place it on the grill about 2 minutes aside. Flip it and do it again for about 2 minutes. I don't need the bone anymore, so this is a good time to give it to the dogs. They're inside at the moment, so it'll have time to cool off. Searing the sides is also important. Make sure you get them all. And with that, it's time to eat. Reverse searing is my favorite way to make a steak. It's juicy, tender, and loaded with flavor. You really should give it a try. Share wisely. Having a smoker is much like owning a swimming pool.